Hello, everybody. Joining me by the campfire today is a wildlife photographer and a newly minted PhD. Dr. Javier Lobon Rovira has finished his PhD in November and already has a lot of publications on the evolution, systematics, and conservation of lizards, mostly lizards, in Africa and in Madagascar. But on top of being a very active scientist and active in several conservation projects, he's also an outstanding wildlife and conservation photographer, with his stunning photographs appearing in many magazines, including several issues of National Geographic. Javier, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you very much.
Hey, before we start, congratulations on your PhD, of course. Very
Thank you
new.
very much.
It's on Southern African geckos.
Yeah.
So why Southern African geckos? What's so special about them? What brought you to them?
Well, geckos in general, they're amazing. It's probably one of the most diverse group of lizards all around the world. And the colonization of Africa or the radiation of geckos in Africa, it's just an amazing, with huge amount of morphs, life strategies, and different sort of things that makes this group amazing. And also in Southern Africa, there is still a huge gap in the knowledge of this group. So why not to work with them? Definitely.
Right. Yeah, no, I've seen them in South Africa, the Pachydactylus and all those little ground geckos. They're really
beautiful.
They're really quite nice. So your stories for today, are they from Southern Africa as well, or where are you taking us first?
Yeah, I can take you to Angola, where I developed my main field work, and I have some funny stories around there.
So you were in Angola for your PhD doing field work?
Yeah, I've been there like 6-7 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I spent most of my time in the last 5 years in Angola.
And what were you doing there on this particular occasion?
Well, I was in the coastal region that for me is the most amazing area in Angola. The good thing in Angola is like you can go from the rainforest in the north to the Namib Desert in the south, and you cross the Afro Mountain, savanna, and all the biomes, mainly all the biomes that you can find in Africa, you can find all together in one country. That for me is one of the most amazing things from Angola.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Angola is amazing, and at the same time, it's one of the most unexplored countries in Africa. So everything together makes the perfect combination to do field work. And and in this particular occasion, I was in the coastal region that for me is the most amazing part of Angola. The coastal region is mainly arid. That goes from coastal savanna to desert. And we were working in a place that now is one of our camp-based or the meeting point in all our expeditions. We always finish in that place to sleep for a day or 2 days to rest a little bit. That is in the Bengala province. And we were there at night trying to find some geckos. So this was the first time that we arrived to that place. We arrived at night.
And that's quite close to the coast, or a little bit more inland?
Yeah, it's quite close to the coast.
And so there it's a little bit savanna-like, so some patches of grass, mostly sand.
Yeah. It's more arid than the savanna, a little bit more. You have a little bit of this plant tree that is called Senegalia. There is like a thorn bush, more or less. And it's the place where we found for first time a genus that we described 2 years ago, endemic to Angola, that is Bauerius. a super beautiful gecko that was disappeared for 100 years, and we rediscovered the species in that particular place. So
Wow.
yeah,
And that was the first time you went there.
yeah. Well, they no, they found the gecko before I was there, and we went there
Hmm.
and we found plenty of them. So
Oh, wow. So it
yeah,
had been lost for 100 years.
yeah, yeah, 130 years, and
Huh.
and the species was included within the Afrogecko genus.
Hmm.
And when we made the genetics, something super cool that we found is that the genus is this species is not related with the Afrogecko and no
Hmm.
any other mainland Africa geckos, and is related with Madagascar species. So it's
Oh,
yeah,
that makes no sense.
yeah,
Wow.
definitely super freaking cool animal, and yeah,
Yeah. So not just lost for 130 years, but also
completely different
unique in
thing. Yeah,
Africa.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, I think not everybody who listens may understand how a gecko can be lost for 130 years. Uh,
So, so the point is, the guy who described the species, they
mhm,
found they supposedly found the species with only two individuals that was described in America by a researcher from America,
mhm.
and never found the gecko again
Okay.
uh, for a long time. It is true that in Angola, after the colonial era, it came a
Yeah.
civil war. Nobody goes there until 2002,
Yeah. Mm,
and field work, seriously field work, start mostly around the 2010, something like this.
mhm,
So the species was completely disappeared for a long time. And when we found them, what we discovered is like this small gecko lives
mhm.
inside the branches, the termites holes that they make inside the branches, and they were living inside there.
Oh, right.
So what our hypothesis is like the guys who found the gecko for first time, they
Yeah.
were just chopping trees to make a fire
Mm.
good, and the gecko show
Ah,
up.
wow. Yeah. And after that, nobody was doing that, presumably. And then
Yeah.
if you don't break the bushes, you don't find the geckos, essentially.
Well, we
Yeah.
found it in a different way, but yeah,
Oh.
and the interesting thing of this part is like now we're finding the species everywhere in the coastal region, everywhere.
Oh.
And right now, I could say that is one of the most abundant species in Angola. So yeah, it's no sense at all.
So you just needed to know where to look for them, essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and well, if you have some experience looking for geckos and so on, you probably will find them easily. But if you are not
Uh-huh.
focused in finding geckos and in the particular place, yeah, it could be lost for another 100 years.
And did you realize it at the time when you were there, when you're just walking around seeing a gecko and then like realizing that, wow, this one has been lost for
Yeah,
a long
yeah,
time?
yeah. So when my colleague, because this was found by first time by Pedro Vespinto, and there is
Yeah.
another colleague from Angola and Portugal. When they found it right at the moment, they say, "Okay, I think this is the gecko that was lost for a very very long time." And yeah,
Mm,
then when we explored more in detail, definitely it was the gecko, and yeah, it's
yeah.
super cool.
Must have been very excited for you as a PhD student at the time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because I have two main focus or two main bucket species
Oh.
to
Mm-hmm.
go when I started working in Angola. That was first the colecanos, and
Mm-hmm.
there is an endemic species from Angola with a feather tail
Oh yeah,
gecko
yeah,
that
yeah.
is just
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. And the other one
Mm-hmm.
is this species, and yeah, now I have seen them plenty and several times, and we discovered a new species of colecanos as well. So yeah, yeah,
Wow.
and these two findings are part of my PhD. So yeah,
Yeah.
super
Yeah,
happy.
no, I remember the feather tail gecko paper. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful
Fantastic.
animals. So,
Yeah, and your
but
photos of them. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Did you see the photos of those animals? They're beautiful.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
should
can
show
send you some
them on the
photos. Yeah,
video. Yeah, yeah, I'll show them on the video. Yeah.
nice.
So if
But
you're listening to
the
this, you want to see them, check out the YouTube video.
yeah, definitely. So, but the funny story in that place is that when we arrived there the first time looking for geckos, we
Hmm.
found like a small mountain of granitic boulders.
Mm.
Uh, so we thought, okay, this is a place, a part of the road, so we can hide the car there, sleep there, and look for geckos in the small mountain because most of them they
Hmm.
like to be climbing in the rocks and so on. And
Sure.
we were climbing at night the first day. And I was in the left side, my colleague was in the right side. And when I start to climb up, I look with my torch pointing up to the top of the small mountain,
Hmm.
and I see two huge eyes looking at me from the top,
Oh.
and a completely shape of a big cat. It was a big cat.
Oh. Oh.
And I called my colleague, started to yell him like, Pedro, here's something, come here. And I want to start climbing up because indeed I want to see what it was. And
Hmm.
when he started to climb, he called me like, Javier, climb down, get out of there. And when I arrived to the bottom, he told me, man, I just found a leopard cave in the small
Oh,
mountain.
not
And he
just
knew
any big cat, but a leopard.
it was a
Okay.
leopard. Yeah. So and from now on, we call that place the leopard cave. Is And
Mm,
the day after in the morning, so we went to sleep, and the day after in the morning, we climbed up again the mountain to see what is going on, and we
yeah.
found again this cave
Uh-huh.
with two dead porcupines and a skull of a huge leopard dead there, and a lot of
Wow.
bones of different antelopes and other good things. And it
Wow.
was. I cannot guarantee that the animal that I saw in the top of the mountain was a leopard. Maybe it was a caracal or something, but still, I was frightened
Mm.
at the night. Like, oh my goodness, first time.
Yeah, no, but it's very likely. So after you saw the eyes, what happened then? I mean, did you just say turn around and go back to the tent, or?
No, no. When I saw the eyes, I want to climb up because I was seeing something
Ah.
like, but I want to see what it was because I thought, okay, maybe this is a caracal or serval or something like
Mm,
this.
mm.
So yeah, I
Smaller
want to see
cats.
that
Yeah.
animal, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
because you
yeah.
never think that something that can kill you in 3 seconds is going to be in the top of your head. And I just only realized that it could be a leopard when he told me like, Javier, I just see a leopard cave. Like, I say, oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful experience that I remember
Mm,
every day,
yeah, I
and
can imagine.
yeah, so
Wow.
funny.
So did you go back there again ever, or was that the
Yeah,
only
so
time you went to the leopard
yeah,
cave?
we every time that we go to the coastal region,
Hmm.
so in Angola you have to drive all the way from Luanda. If you want to go, for example, to Iona National Park, there is in the Namib in the southwest corner of Angola, and all
Hmm.
this region you have to go through the coast. And this is like the place that we go to sleep every now and then. Like
Okay.
it's our stop.
Still at the leopard cave and just in the tent, I imagine.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Everything is in a tent in Angola, but we never seen nothing big around again. So
Okay. Okay. So it's the one show. Wow.
yeah,
Oh, that must be frightening.
it was frightening at the moment. Now I remember like a funny story, but at the moment was like, oh my goodness. And like,
Yeah, no, it's not nothing. I mean, I remember just in Morocco walking around at night, and then you're looking at small stuff, right? You're looking for
yeah,
geckos. I was looking for scorpions, and then you look up, and there's these big green eyes staring at you, and you feel pretty alone in the dark there, right?
definitely, definitely. Well, the first thing
Yeah.
that I did it was call my friend like, Pedro, come here, come
Mm,
here. I'm going to climb up, but come here with me.
yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
but you know, in Africa, these things could happen all the time. Like you have big carnivores and big predators that they are around. You just have to be careful, be
Yeah.
be conscious, and be aware that everything could happen, and be alert, and that's it.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
Big cats are nice. And did you see the other the other cats like caracals more often or
I have never seen a caracal in my
oh,
life,
okay.
never ever, and I have seen a serval only once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I've been looking for in the Sahara in Morocco and all these areas for the Sahara cats, the Felis margarita,
Mm,
but
yeah,
unlikely
the cute ones.
I have
Yeah.
never seen them. For me, they
Wow.
are the most beautiful cats in the planet.
Yeah, with the rounded face and very
Yeah, and
stocky.
and,
Yeah.
and living
Yeah.
in the red desert, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
unique animal. But
Hard to find, I imagine. Yeah.
yeah, and I see lions, leopards, and cheetahs in other parts of Africa, but no
Hmm.
in Angola. In Angola, everything it's mostly gone.
Okay. Yeah. Is
Yeah,
that because of the Civil War or
yeah, they kill everything.
mm,
They kill
yeah.
absolutely everything. They almost extinct the giant sable. That is the
Yeah.
symbol of the country. So yeah, they kill absolutely everything. But now it's
Mm.
recovering slowly. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah, yeah. I saw you're also working on the conservation of the giant sable. At least you're involved in that project, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Pedro, that is my colleague from Angola. That I do all the field work with him. He's the leader of the
Hmm.
conservation plan of the giant sable. So I try to help them when I can, mainly taking photos or helping
Yeah.
out going there to the fields.
Yeah, your photos are amazing, man. They're really, I don't know, impactful because of the lighting and the kind of lenses you're using. It's really really striking. I like that in your top 10 on your website, and I will link to the website with this podcast. But in your top 10, you have a scorpion there as well. That's
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's always
I think in
appreciated.
the top 10, that one is a Butus occipitanus or ibericus. I
Mm,
took the photo in Madrid, so next to my
yeah.
house,
Oh,
and that's
you don't
that's
have to go
beautiful.
that far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that people always tell me, like, oh, you publish in National Geographic because you go then and blah 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 blah. But the 90% of my photos published in National Geographic are from Spain or Portugal.
Mm,
So you sometimes just need to keep pushing, and look the light, and look the frame that you want to get, and and of course being lucky because there's 200
yeah.
million photographers doing incredible work, and
Mm.
sometimes you just need to be in the right place at the right moment.
So does it help for you to be a biologist and a photographer at the same time, or is that are these completely different and incompatible activities in the field?
No, well, for me, what allows me to take more photos and more photos is be biologist and go to the fields frequently,
Hmm.
and and collaborate with different colleagues working in entomology, ornithology, and different fields. So I can find different cool places or cool animals or targets or
Right.
important stories that you want to tell,
Hmm.
because they are working in that, and I can help them to document their work or whatever. So I think if you are not a biologist and you want to do nature photography, you need to
Hmm.
be close to a biologist working with your study group. That's
Right.
the experience that I have.
Hmm. Yeah. So it's really just not your own field work, but the fact that you know other biologists who can give you access or tips or
Yeah, a
whatever. Huh.
different point of
Huh.
view that you will never find it by your own, probably.
Mm. Yeah. Well, your gecko example is a good one. If you don't know where to find that one, you're not going to find it apparently for 130 years. So
Yes, definitely.
awesome.
So
So
yeah,
yeah, what else adventures did you
yeah, I have
have?
another story, and the coastal region of Angola as well. And
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've been to lots of places. You've been to Madagascar, all over South Africa, Southern
yeah,
Africa, but Angola
yeah.
is the place where things happen then.
Yeah, I think it's because I spent more time there,
Mm.
um, and I spent a lot of time in the field. That allows these things to happen.
Yeah.
That I remember one that I was it was in Bengal as well. We were looking for dwarf vipers, and that
Nice.
they're very common in the south, in the deep south. But as much north that you move, the the population decrease significantly,
Hmm.
and we were like in the northern distribution area of the species, and we were like for 3 hours. They live in gravel plains with a lot of small
Yeah.
rocks, and they hide uh, under the rocks. And we were looking for this animal for a time, long
So
time
were you looking at night or during the day? How does that work?
during the day, like flipping
Okay.
rocks, flipping rocks, flipping rocks.
Mm.
And I was with again with Pedro and his son, looking for the vipers. We were like for 3 hours looking for them. Nothing, nothing, nothing at all. And suddenly I saw Cordylosaurus. That is a small lizard with a blue tail, beautiful,
Nice.
extremely fast. Uh, so I start to chase the animal, and I call Pedro and his son, like, "Hey, come here. There is a cool lizard here. Let's see if we can catch it." And we were moving around once and again, and at the end, the animal went under a rock,
Hmm.
and we were okay. Pedro, you flip the rock, and me and Alfonso, we catch the animal fastly, and we were all prepared. Pedro was about to flip the rock. He flipped the rock, and when we were going to put it the hands, the small lizard, the Cordylosaurus, hide under a dwarf viper. But I saw the animal, but the son
Yeah.
of Pedro, Alfonso, he didn't see the viper, and he put the two hands on the top of the viper, like boom,
Oh,
and he grabbed the viper, and we start to yell him like so fun, like no, 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 and he just
yeah, yeah,
released
yeah, yeah.
it, and he was lucky like hell, like oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And he was about 11 years, so
Oh, so also still quite small, so the venom would have been even
oh my
worse.
goodness, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we were like, oh my goodness. But he grabbed
Yeah.
the viper with the hands, like whoa. And
Yeah.
he was lucky that because that dwarf viper, it's
Hmm.
the Vitis caudalis, they used to bite twice. So, and they bite fast and twice, like pa pa pa. and
Oh.
and and
Hmm.
I don't know how. Maybe the viper was not even realized what the hell is going on. Like two
Probably just
hands
turned the
coming on
rock,
my
it
top.
got
Like
bright. Yeah.
yeah, but he was extremely lucky to get not bitten by the.
Wow. Yeah, it's a bad idea to start grabbing at something you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Lucky kid, because I imagine you were quite far from a hospital or anything like that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, no, we were in the well, there were no chances to go to the hospital where we were. We were in the middle of nowhere,
Uh-huh.
about 5 or 6 hours from the closest hospital. So,
Okay.
but that one was
That would have
like,
been bad.
yeah, definitely.
Ah,
And yeah, but that one in Angola was a thing. Like, oh, that's a story to tell. Like, oh my goodness.
yeah, that would have could have ended quite badly, but you got both the lizard and the snake, or
We got balls, yeah, definitely.
so it ended
We
good.
realized that it was a viper. We just take the gloves and the tongues. We take the viper first and then the lizard, and we take some photos and tissue samples and release them
Hmm.
safely.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it was an important sample, I imagine, the northern
it was
part
an
of the
important,
range.
yeah,
So
yeah, it was an
yeah.
important sample, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, always watch where you put your fingers, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, no. That sometimes it's like you are focusing something and you don't realize what you have around. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, well, I have other stories as well in Morocco. Something like flipping rocks and suddenly a cobra showing up or something like this. Like, oh my
A
goodness.
cobra.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
wow.
But
Yeah, flipping
yeah,
rocks, the things come out. And they're
definitely,
not and they're
definitely.
not happy about it usually.
Oh
Yeah.
no, no at all. Yeah,
Oh wow. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, sure, when you flip rocks and there's something really striking there, like there you're on red sand and there's like a black beetle or something, that gets your attention, not the sand-colored huge scorpion that's sitting next to it. Um,
definitely. Oh, but talking about the scorpions, I remember once in Angola again, it was raining like crazy, and we found a pelusius, that is a pond turtle,
mhm,
terrapin, crossing the road
mhm.
at night, raining like crazy, and we stop the car. I take the turtle out of the road. I put it on the car, and suddenly when I flip the turtle, it was an scorpion underneath,
Oh,
like taking a ride,
really?
and
It's
we were putting
clinging
the
to the
hands.
belly.
Yeah, and it was a parabutus. So and
Oh, dangerous. That's a dangerous scorpion. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and we were like looking at the turtle like with the hands, and it was like taking the ride,
Uh,
super happy.
that's strange because normally parabuthas don't cling to the underside of rocks. They usually more digging and
Yeah,
must have
I
been the
think
rain.
we must have yeah, it was raining like crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
But we must have the photo somewhere about that uh, cooperation between two species.
How did the scorpion cross the road?
Oh
On
yes,
a turtle. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
definitely, yeah, it was fun.
Cool. And are you going back to Angola anytime soon?
I don't know yet. I would like to go. Maybe next year I'm going to Namibia and Angola if I'm lucky. Uh,
Mm,
but yeah, let's see what things brings next year.
sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I still have projects in Angola to need to be done. So
So will it be
I
geckos or other
uh,
things?
geckos and frogs mainly.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
good to know.
we start working in Cabinda. Uh, that is an Angolan enclave within the two Congos, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Congo Brazzaville.
Oh, really?
So yeah, in the rainforest, it's north of Congo River,
Hmm.
and we are going there for first time, like doing biodiversity studies after the war mainly, and it's still a little bit complicated, but now is where we are mostly focused to do the next work and so on.
Mm.
But yeah, there is some challenges still in that area.
Yeah, but it's probably unexplored because of that. So you might find another very rare gecko or a new species like you've done so many times before.
Yeah.
That
Well,
would be
this is what
awesome.
I expect to find. This something that I always say when I'm going to the fields is, and people tell me, "Ah, you're not afraid of this or this animal."
Hmm.
And in places like this, the thing that finding me the most is to find another person,
Uh,
because
yeah.
you never know. They have like a small war. They're like not a civil war, but it's like armed conflicts.
Mm,
And so the last thing that you want to find in the middle of the forest at night is probably another person.
yeah. I have that
So
experience. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Guys showing up with Kalashnikovs when you're just there with your flashlights. You're
yeah,
like, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
please go
yeah,
away.
and they don't have idea who you are, so
Uh,
they can be serious.
yeah. Well, take care, man. Be careful out there. And take some nice pictures for the rest of us.
I will try.
So if people want to see some of your pictures and want to know more about the projects you're doing, where can they go?
Well, they can go to my website, definitely. I try to post on there most of my work. It is true that the photographic work is not the most updated. Maybe the most updated is go to Instagram or something like this.
Right. What's
But
your
yeah,
Instagram handle? Do you know by heart by any chance?
uh, the name, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same as my name is Javier
Okay.
underscore Lobon Rovira. So
Okay. Perfect.
they can find
We'll
there.
find it.
And the scientific work, I try to publish everything on my website, but they can find it as well in ResearchGate or whatever. If they look for my name, they can find uh, everything that I'm doing. And if they have any question, I'm always happy to reply the emails or whatever if they want to reach me out or whatever. Yeah.
Awesome. Javier, thank you very much.
Thanks to you for
And
inviting me. It was wonderful.
well, your stories are amazing, and I hope you come back with more.
Yeah, I can tell you some more stories from Costa Rica and other places where I developed some work. I have some funny stories in Costa Rica as well that I can tell you.
Well, don't stop now.
Well, I can tell you one if you want. I remember because I was living in Costa Rica working with sea turtles,
Sea turtles. Huh.
with leatherbacks mainly.
Mm.
Um, this was back in 2016, I guess. And we used to patrol at night to see if the females are coming out to nest and lay the eggs and take some measurements and if some nests need to be relocated or so on. But and we used to go by in pairs, so two
Mhm.
persons go together because something could happen.
So that's at
And
night, right? You're walking on the beach at night in the dark,
yes,
in the
yes,
tropical nights in Costa
yes,
Rica. Sweet.
yes. Yeah. And there were some stories before I started working there because Costa Rica is beautiful for many things, but in the Caribbean, it's like a highway, the main highway for drugs from South America to
Right.
the north,
Yeah.
and many times the dealers go in the coast, and if they see lights in the beach, they think that there are police or something, and they start to shoot like without
Oh,
asking.
right.
So yeah, so that never happened to me, but there is stories that they were telling in the reserve where I was working. But I remember one night that I was patrolling alone because one of the colleagues was sick or something happened. I don't remember what, and it was raining like so bad, so bad, raining a lot.
Okay.
And I was working at the beach, and something started to light. I didn't know what it was, and in 1 second, a sun hit the beach like 300 meters or even less. No, 300 meters, 30 meters away from me. I get blind. The sound was like crazy, like
Wow.
oh, like right next to me, like oh my goodness, I get blind, get surf, and I
Mm.
run into the rainforest because there is the line of forest goes next to the
Yeah.
beach. So and I was working in the beach, so I hide a little bit there. I was frightened, like oh my gosh, this is if I move here, the next one is going to be in my head. and
Yeah.
suddenly and suddenly two leatherbacks start to came out from the water.
Oh,
So I thought, okay, I have to measure these animals. They cannot escape, and maybe something happened. So I went to measure the animal, take all the values, yeah, and all the information that or the data that we used to
sure.
record. And when I
Hmm.
was with the second one, boom, at the second time, like again, next to
So
me again.
lightning hitting
Yeah,
the
lightning
beach.
so bad, like next to me. And yeah, and that was the night. Like, say, okay, I go home, and I start to run in the beach. I don't want to be here anymore. That was frightening. Frightening.
Wow. So twice close to you.
Twice, yeah.
Huh.
But really, that never happened to me ever. So, like, really next to me, like, you get blind in 1 second, and the sound is like extremely hard, like
Mm.
you are breaking it in two. Like, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I
Oh,
thought, okay, the storm
God.
is passing, so I'm going to measure
Yeah.
the animals, and again, boom. Oh my
Oh.
God, frightening.
That's
It was
that
frightening.
yeah. Yeah.
This is one of the worst experiences that I have in my life. Like, really frightening. Like, oh my
Really?
gosh, yeah, like, I'm going to
Mm.
die here. Like, this was bad, like really bad, because when the light hits the ground,
Yeah.
everything trembles, like so bad, like in like a earthquake or something, like, and you get blind. Everything happening in
Yeah.
less than a second,
Milliseconds.
you know.
Yeah. 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 Oh
So
my
it's
God,
like,
that must be
oh
so
my God.
loud. And so, were you able to see where the lightning hit? Was there
No,
like
no,
any
I'm
trace?
not even sure if it hits the beach, or maybe it was a little bit in the water.
Mm. Mm.
So I
Right.
have no idea. But really, like, next to me.
You always think that, lightning goes for trees or something, but it was, yeah.
No,
So
no,
don't
and
be
it
out
was
in
coming
the
from the
open.
water for sure, because
Yeah.
the storm was coming from the Caribbean Ocean and going inland.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Ooh, yeah.
frightening,
That is
frightening.
pretty frightening.
No, no, definitely the worst experience in my life. And
Yeah.
then, well, when I was patrolling there, you find always things like you are patrolling in that way, and when you go back, you see how are prints in the beach, these sort of things
Mm.
that
Yeah.
happens frequently
But you
in
were
South
much more frightened
America.
by the lightning than by the
Oh
jaguars.
yes, 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 definitely, definitely. No, no, the
Yeah,
lightning
twice in a
was
row.
super scary. Yeah,
Crazy. Yeah, I can
yeah,
imagine. I can just imagine how loud that would must be so close. That's frightening.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And after
definitely.
that, did you continue with the measuring?
No, no, I run away, and I hide in the small houses that would have it in the reserve, and
Mm,
that day was enough for me. Like, yeah, okay,
yeah.
I'm really here for conservation, but I'm not going to put my life in
No.
more risk, at least tonight. Maybe tomorrow we
Yeah.
will see, but not tonight. Yeah.
Those two data points will have to come some other time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
It sounds very cool though, measuring leatherback turtles there.
Oh
That's
yeah. This is beautiful experience again. This
mm,
I've been lucky because I have collaborated in some really beautiful projects.
hmm
And this one was the one that takes me for first time to Costa Rica, and
mm,
that is a place that I love. And the leatherbacks, you don't realize how big they are until you have one between your arms. Like, I think that year we measure a female that it was about 1 meter 90 something centimeters of carapace, only carapace. So
yeah. Wow.
huge animal,
Yeah, yeah.
huge animal.
That's taller than I am, just a shell.
Yeah, yeah, and how they move in the beach, like how it's possible that these animals could take this life, and it's really scary because the beaches in the Caribbean Ocean of Costa Rica, they're disappearing,
Mm,
uh, because for example, what it happens in the beach that we were, that is, I think is the third uh, more important nesting population in the world. I think the
okay.
first is Gabon, then French Guiana, and then this one in Costa Rica. And what it happened is that they built a huge port in the city of Limon, south of the Caribbean Ocean, and
Yeah.
seems like they changed a little bit the currents of
Uh,
the sea because that of the coastal line,
yeah.
and the beach was in retrocess,
Oh, yeah.
going to the forest. So if they lose all the sand needed to nest, the
Mm.
population can just disappear.
Oh, wow.
I
Anything they
think
can do
now
about it?
I, I'm not sure. I think there is not too much to be done.
Mm.
But this, together with the global warming, because I don't know if you know, but the sex of the sea turtles depends on the
Yeah.
temperature of the incubation.
Yes.
And with the global warming, what we have is more males. So we
Yeah.
have the sea is full of sea of males sea turtles, and we are losing all the females. And if we lose the females, we lose the species definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Sexual
So
temperature dependent sex determination in reptiles is a problem with climate change. Also with the your geckos, I imagine.
mhm.
Or yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm.
yeah. But it is true that geckos they used to lay the eggs under rocks or in the cracks, so the temperature is more.
Mm.
Well, it used to stay cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Depends of the species, of course, but it's not as dramatic as it could be with sea turtles because they lay the eggs in the sand or the beach that is
Yeah.
exposed to the external temperature like
Right.
100% and the heat of the sun every day
Yeah.
and so on. So
So
yeah,
maybe they need to start laying their eggs a little bit deeper. Um,
maybe that is the solution, or they start to learn how to get into the forest and dilate
yeah.
the
Huh?
eggs into the forest, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
That will
know.
also be cooler. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You never know.
you never
Maybe the
know.
combination of things will solve it a little bit, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, the species just adapt to everything, but and some others disappear. So let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. They're amazing. We work in Portugal, or we worked in Portugal,
Yeah.
and actually on the beach there, I once had a leatherback washing up a dead one, but
Oh,
just shows
really?
you how far they get. Yeah,
Well, they are everywhere,
yeah.
absolutely everywhere.
Occasionally,
Uh,
even in the North Sea here. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. These animals and well, this is fascinating because when they born, they stay in the deep sea for over, I think it's around 30 years to
Mm,
get maturity and be reproductive, active. So uh, yeah, this is amazing animals,
yeah.
definitely.
Takes a long time to grow if you just eat jellyfish, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Not good, not good food. All
Yeah,
right. That was amazing. Yeah, I've just seen lightning that close twice in a row. Yeah, that will
yeah,
have you running back, definitely.
yeah. No,
So
definitely.
be careful out there. Thanks again
Thank you
for
again.
being on. And Javier, yeah, people should go and look at your photos because they are gorgeous and they really show the animals in such an amazing light. It's really worthwhile finding Javier's website and going to have a look at it. Thanks
Thank
a
you very
lot.
much, Harry. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.